Welcome to Lord Windgrace. I hope you're excited to get some cats on the battlefield and make a ton of land drops. But let's start off with Lord Windgrace himself. So we have the +2 ability, discard a card, then draw a card. If a land card is discarded this way, we get to draw an additional card. Then for the -3 ability, return up to 2 target lands from your graveyard to the battlefield. And then for the -11, destroy up to 6 target non-land permanents, then create a cat warrior army with Forest Walk. It's always nice. It's really nice to get to that ultimate, and it's really not that far-fetched to get to it at a -11, and I don't know, it just feels really good. I didn't get, unfortunately, I don't think I got it in during any of the videos, but some good magic once you get those cat warrior tokens. But now, as far as this particular build of Lord Windgrace, what are we doing? This is a very traditional build of Lord Windgrace. We're going to get a lot of really good utility land creatures on the battlefield. We get Life from the Loam in the graveyard, and just really create this really nice value engine. You know, bring lands out of the graveyard, make extra land drops, and just draw a ton of cards. And that's pretty much going to be the name of the game with this particular deck. Now, as far as Lord Windgrace, what makes him shine? He's a really good commander, but what really makes Lord Windgrace shine is having access to creatures that give you extra land drops. Cards like Courser of Crewfix and Oracle, you're going to be able to look at the top part of your library, and at the same time make those extra land drops because you want to do stuff quicker than your opponent can. And by being able to make extra land drops, that'll certainly make sure that does happen. Now, as far as these actual creature cards go, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on these because they're pretty self-explanatory. I don't really want to ramble, but long story short, both of these are going to allow you to look at the top part of your library and make those extra land drops, because if something does happen to Lord Windgrace, simply being able to bounce back and that commander tax goes up really high, you can recast Lord Windgrace and you'll be back in the same position drawing a ton of cards. Outside of those two creatures, we do have Wayward Sawtooth and Azusa, once again keeping on theme with being able to play extra land drops. With Wayward Sawtooth, we're going to get to that city, the Ascension, pretty quick once we get all those permanents on the battlefield. So it's also going to turn into a 5/5 beat stick creature, which is always nice to have access to something like that. Now, outside of these extra land drop creatures, we do have a few utility land creatures that really help this deck out. Sylvan Safekeeper is going to make sure that we keep those utility creatures protected. We can sacrifice a land to protect a creature, give it Shroud. And we also have Excavator, which is going to allow us to play lands out of the graveyard, which is going to fit in really well with Lord Windgrace's activated ability. You know, simply just having all this synergy among your creatures really makes this deck shine. So let's say that we have Sylvan Safekeeper down, we sacrifice a land to protect Courser of Crewfix, and then we can get Excavator down, start making those land drops out of the graveyard, or we have Life from the Loam. Either way, it's not really getting any sort of disadvantage by sacrificing a land once we get enough creatures on the battlefield and make those few extra land drops. Now, outside of the utility land creatures that we are running, we do have a few kind of stompy land creatures in the deck that really help us kind of push our game plan. We have Hydra, which is going to be able to power toughness to equal the number of lands that we control, and then whenever it enters the battlefield, we get to search our library for a land card and put it onto the battlefield tapped. Now with Hydra, this is also going to work out because there are a few different kind of land combos you can run in here. The only oppressive combo that we are running is Thespian Stage and Dark Depths. So that way, let's say that we do have Dark Depths, we just need Thespian Stage to make a Merit Lage token, get down Hydra for 6 mana, we have this huge creature that's going to be a 6/6 or a 7/7. Then we can also grab Dark Depths to make a copy of and get a nice 20/20 Merit Lage token. Your opponents will be like, wow, that is wonderful, that's beautiful. Then also Crash of Rhino Beetles. I don't know, I love this card. Trample, and then it gets +10/+10 as long as you control 10 or more lands, which getting to 10 lands is really not that hard with Lord Windgrace. And plus, I don't know, you get these Rhino Beetles. It's pretty cool. Got to get a big 15/15 with Trample on the battlefield. Now, outside of those particular utility creatures, we do have some nice graveyard land creatures that are really high impact. Titania, the Gitrog Monster, and Turn Timber Sower. Once these creatures get on the battlefield, we're going to be able to generate a ton of tokens, get a ton of card draw going, and these are cards that your opponent definitely wants to answer. Let's say that they've spent a lot of removal on some of your early utility creatures, you know, 3 and the 4 drops. You get down these creatures at 5, and you're going to end up with some really nice board states developed. Especially Gitrog, you know, this is going to work great in a Lord Windgrace deck, and I don't know, I just love Gitrog. Every time I see him open a hand, I'm like, yes, keep it. I'm going to keep. Now, as far as some of the lands into the graveyard, Life from the Loam and Entomb, if you're not going to put out of this deck, if you're not really, you know, Life in the Loam, it's about $20 or something like that. But this is one of the best cards that you can run in Lord Windgrace, especially in addition to Entomb. You get Life from the Loam into the graveyard, and that basically just gives you an easy cruise button for the rest of the game. You're going to dredge every single turn, return those 3 lands back to your hand, and basically just kind of keep that graveyard flowing. You can also use stuff like Splendid Reclamation to bring all these lands back out of the graveyard. Life from the Loam just basically makes sure that you're going to be able to survive into the late game and make every single single land drop that you can as soon as possible. Most of the time, Entomb's basically just going to be a tutor for life from the loam. You can use it in a certain scenario to reanimate some creatures if you need to, but basically Entomb is just a tutor for life from the loam, and highly recommend running those 2-card combos. Now, as far as some of the high impact land spells that we have in the deck, Realms Uncharted and Crop Rotation, they're going to give us instant speed access to whatever sort of land that we have. Now, with Realms Uncharted, this is a wonderful card for the deck. We get to search our library for 4 land cards, 2 go into our hand, 2 go into the graveyard. If you have Life from the Loam, it's basically just 3 mana tutor for 4 land cards. You can grab whatever sort of color fixing that you need. You can grab Maze of Ith, you can grab Dark Depths, Thespian Stage. Pretty much whatever you need out of the deck, Realms Uncharted is definitely going to be one of the more high-impact land spells that you can put in there. And the same thing with Crop Rotation. You know, you can Crop Rotate into something like Urborg. If you're running Coffers in there, Ancient Tomb, once again, Dark Depths, Thespian Stage, get those Merit Lage tokens going. It's going to make sure you keep whatever sort of game plan you need to get going definitely online for that. Now, some of the high-impact land spells. Sylvan Awakening, I love this card. Once again, let's say that we get down Life from the Loam, we're dredging our graveyard, we just keep making land drop after land drop after land drop. Your opponent goes for board wipe, blows up all of our good utility creatures. Sylvan Awakening late game is one of the best cards that you can draw into, or simply just having it in your opening hand. You get to turn all of your lands into 2/2 elementals. In 1 versus 1 commander, this is definitely a really good card, and especially, you know, in a multiplayer setting, you can definitely win you some games, or just put enough pressure on your opponent to where they're not really going to be able to stop this entire land army force. And plus that art, look at that, looks good. Splendid Reclamation, this is going to keep on theme with us getting as many lands into the graveyard as possible. We're going to bring those back. And then Constant Miss, you know, if we're going to be able to make a few extra land drops per turn, being able to sacrifice a land to get some sort of fog effect, and just basically kind of keep that repeated fog effect going for the rest of the game is some good magic. Your opponent's not going to like it, but you'll definitely love it. Now, once again, we care about getting a ton of lands into the graveyard, and some of the high-impact artifacts we can run. Crucible of Worlds is going to act as a second copy of Excavator, and then also Horn of Greed. You do want to be a little bit careful with Horn of Greed whenever you get it down. You don't want to give your opponent too much card advantage, but the way this deck is set up, if you get down Horn of Greed, you're making all your extra land drops. Typically, you can take advantage of that card advantage quicker than your opponent can, unless they're playing something like Gitrog, that you probably want to kind of tap the brakes on that Horn of Greed. Now, some of the really good enchantments for this deck, we have Retreat. This is really going to add up. You get that +1/+0. That does kind of matter in some games. But the second ability, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain a life whenever a land enters the battlefield. Fetch land, crack the fetch, get a land on the battlefield. That's going to be 2 life loss per turn, and you gain 2 life. Get this down on turn 3 and just keep making your extra land drops. You know, you have Courser on the battlefield. That's going to be 3 life per turn. Get another Enabler on the battlefield. That's 4 life per turn. That can really kind of drain the entire board once you get that down. Now, same thing with Rites of Flourishing and Horn of Greed. This is one of those cards you're going to be a little bit careful with. You want to make sure that you can outrace your opponent in card advantage once you get this down, but I love Howling Mind Magic, and Rites of Flourishing is definitely that. It makes for some really fun magic, and you can definitely take advantage of getting a lot of card advantage in your deck quicker than your opponent can, because you're getting a hand on lands, and that's what really matters, getting down Rites of Flourishing. Now, some of the other ways that we can really get some good value going on the board is getting a lot of tokens. So we have Zendikar's Royal. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, get a 2/2 green elemental creature token. Once again, fetch land, crack the fetch land. Now you have 2 bodies on the battlefield. It's just going to be really hard, even if they get down some sort of board wipe. The fact that we can make extra land drops, bring stuff out of the graveyard, you're basically always going to be able to build some sort of token army with Zendikar's Royal on the battlefield. Same thing with Tireless Tracker. If we don't have any sort of good card advantage in our hand, we just keep making our land drops. Then we get to the point where we just start cracking those clue tokens and start cashing in some really nice card draw. Keeping on theme with some of the tokens, Worm Harvest and Nesting Dragon. Worm Harvest is a wonderful card for this deck. You get a ton of worm tokens on the battlefield for simply just 5 mana, and then also discarding lands in the graveyard is pretty much exactly what you want to do. Same thing with Nesting Dragon. We get those tokens on the battlefield. They're not immediately high impact, but let's say it's kind of like a board wipe protection plan. We get down Nesting Dragon, we get those tokens on the battlefield, then whenever it dies, we get a 2/2 red dragon token. You can bounce back from a board wipe really quick with those Nesting Dragons. Now, the other way that we can have some really high impact tokens is going to be Rampaging Baelofs and Angry Omnath. Make a land drop, get a full 4 beast token. This is one of those creatures that your opponent's going to need to answer immediately. Both of these creatures, really, they need to answer them immediately, or you're pretty much going to be able to take over the entire game simply getting those creatures down. And then 6 and then 7 mana. you're in a ramp deck, you're in a land deck, you're going to be able to get these down really quick and show off some really nice tokens. Now to the land combo that I've been talking about the entire deck tech, Dark Depths and Thespian Stage. So the way this interaction works is Dark Depths enters the battlefield. It has all of these ice counters on it. You go for a Thespian Stage activation on Dark Depths. It becomes a copy of that. You have 2 legendary lands on the battlefield. You have to choose which one you want to keep. You're going to choose the Thespian Stage because it has no ice counters on it. Once that happens, you end up with a 2020 Merit Lage token on the battlefield, and you're good to go. Now, the good thing about this is you can just kind of keep playing these lands out of the graveyard. So let's say that your opponent does find some sort of answer for Merit Lage. You can constantly threaten the Merit Lage combo or the token on the battlefield, whatever you want to call it, synergy, and you're just basically always going to have some sort of answer to really kind of put some pressure on your opponent's life total. Now, outside of ways that we can kind of combo off of the lands, you do want to build some sort of kind of backdoor into the deck. Scape Shift, Prismatic Omen, and Valakut. Make sure that we can kind of go for some sort of one-shot on the table. With Prismatic Omen, lands we control are every other type in addition to their normally type, and that's going to matter for Valakut because it cares about having mountains on the battlefield. So you get down Prismatic Omen, all of your lands are mountains, you go for Scape Shift and you grab Valakut. They all enter the battlefield at the same time. Let's say that we have 10 lands on the battlefield. We go for Scape Shift with Prismatic Omen. That's going to be 30 points of damage. You can definitely spread out among the table and really impress a lot of your opponents, especially in 1-versus-1 commander. That'll pretty much end the game. In a multiplayer setting with a bunch of people, it may not end the game right then and there, but it's going to deal a ton of damage. And so it's always nice to have access to especially something like Scape Shift because it's really going to be able to kind of turn the game into your advantage. Now, some of the other spells that we have in here, we have a lot of X spells. We're doing a lot of ramping. We're going to allow lands on the battlefield. So having something just to sink a ton of mana into late game is going to really help you win. Torment of Hellfire, Lava Lance, which is just... love that card. It's kind of metal. And then also Exsanguinate. These are all ways that we can just really just tap out for a turn and either hopefully close the game out or simply just gain a ton of life with Exsanguinate to stick around a little bit longer until we rebuild some sort of board state. Now that will bring us to the end of the deck tech. I have some awesome gameplay videos up for you next, so make sure you stick around and watch. Welcome to Lord Windgrace. As far as opening hand goes, yes, we're keeping. Look at that. Life from the Loam. Life from the Loam and a fetch land, an ancient tomb. Oh, this is... oh yeah. This is what we want. They don't have an extra way to make some extra land drops, but pretty much when you get Life from the Loam in here, that's exactly what you want to see. Let's go and get down Misty. Let's go and crack Misty. That way we can get that, start dredging that library up. Let's go and grab some, let's grab Stomping Ground. I like that. We do have Nesting Dragon down here too, so not going to pay 2 life. And then anything else, we're going to go pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Lord Windgrace himself. +2, discard a card, then draw a card. If a land card is discarded this way, draw an additional card. Then for the -3, return up to 2 target lands from your graveyard of the battlefield. Then for a -11, you're keeping score at home. -11 is, oh sorry, my phone went off. -11 is we get a cat army. We get to destroy 6 permanents. So that's, I've always enjoyed that. Do we want to go for Gamble? We've got the most lands in our hand. Yeah, let's go for Gamble. If we lose Nesting Dragon, it is what it is. What we can do with Gamble is we have Life from the Loam. I'd like to gamble for another, just a land producing creature. Omnath is really far away from us getting something going. We could go for something that allows us to play lands out of the graveyard. I'm almost tempted to kind of go for Zendikar's Royal. I think that's going to be a little bit better of an option for us. Yeah, let's go for Zendikar's Royal and let's see what happens. All right, Urborg, that's perfectly fine. Let's go and get down Reliquary Tower. Yeah, there we go. And then we're going to go and pass the turn. So we're in a really good position now. We got Nesting Dragon, and we have Zendikar's Royal. So once we get these down, we can start to make our land drops and get some really nice board state developed. And then hopefully we can beat Narset. That's the name of the game. Let's go ahead and go for Misty and Urborg off of Life from the Loam. And Life from the Loam is so good in Lord Windgrace. I know it's a little expensive. We're going to look it up here in a second. I was going to get down Misty. And then, yeah, we're going to go and pass the turn. Let me get that pulled up, see how much it is, because it's just such a good card in this deck. So I'm trying to look it up and at the same time let our opponent do their thing. So with the Life from the Loam, let's go and crack Misty. We're going to grab another red-green source. Let's go and grab Taiga. There we go, Shop TCG, let's see. And also MTG or Traders, you need to check them out. So you're looking about $15 for Life from the Loam. Highly recommend picking it up. But, you know, if you have Lord Windgrace and you haven't picked up Life from the Loam, and actually I'm not even entirely sure if it just comes in the deck to begin with. I don't think it does. But you want to pick it up. It's such a good card. Amazing card. It's going to get down Urborg. We'll go for Ancient Tomb. All right, so at this point right now, we get that Ancient Tomb, we go for Zendikar Royal. I think we want Nesting Dragon to stick, so let's go for this. Let's go for Nesting Dragon. Because Zendikar Royal is going to be just a little bit harder for them to deal with, and with those 2/2 elementals, once we start making simply getting a fetch land down, we can double block on Narset, so that'll give us something to do. And if they have a counterspell, they'll definitely want to burn it on Nesting Dragon because that's something they don't want. All right, opponent's going to go for Render Silent. Okay, I will take that. So that'll kind of leave us clear for Zendikar Royal for next turn. Typically, most of your Narset decks, they're going to have some sort of answer for Nesting Dragon, whether it's Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshare. But the fact that we can get down Zendikar Royal, you'd have to have an enchantment removal. So that's always one of the fun things about it. Let's go ahead and get down Urborg. And let's see if we can't get Zendikar Royal to stick again. That's going to be 1/2. And we will be aggressive with this one just in case we run into a Force Spike. I'm going to leave up the mana for a Force Spike, so we're going to take 2 damage. I've been hit by a Force Spike a lot recently, and I do not enjoy that at all. So we're going to leave up the 1 mana. We're going to pay the respect for Force Spike, and if they got another counterspell, so be it. And, all right, they're going to go for Tectonic Edge, which, that's perfectly fine. That's actually going to help us out more because we have Life from the Loam. So we'll simply just bring that back next turn and start to build up an entire board army. So we covered Lord Windgrace. I don't think we covered Narset. So Narset, first strike and hexproof. Whenever Narset attacks, exile the top 4 cards of your library. Until end of turn, you may cast non-creature spells without paying their mana cost. Let's go ahead and go for Life from the Loam. Let's get down Bloodstained Mire first. We're going to get a 2/2 Elemental. And actually, I kind of like putting some pressure on Narset by getting down Lord Windgrace. I think that'll be a little bit better. Let's go ahead and grab Bayou. Get another, and see, look how nice Zendikar Royal is. It would have been nice to get down Nesting Dragon to stick, but I'm glad that we ended up rolling out Nesting Dragon first as kind of like a counterspell test, because we've got a really nice board state developed. Let's go and go for the +2, discard a card. So we're going to go and discard Temple of the False God. And we get to draw 2 additional cards, and then anything else, we're going to pass the turn to our opponent. Now, as far as next turn goes, we do have Terminate, but unfortunately, Narset does have Hexproof. So at this point right now, what we want to do is we just want to muddy the board up for Narset. We want to make it to where it's not going to be good for our opponent to try to swing in with Narset. We've already got that established with 2 different elemental tokens. Once we get down Course of Crewfix, we get down Turntimber Sower. This is definitely going to allow us to just basically keep Narset off of her game plan and make sure that she does not swing in, which is basically 100% what we want to do. And you know what? Let's go ahead and go for, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 total. Let's go ahead and go for Life from the Loam. Let's grab Temple Garden. Let's grab a fetch land. Let's grab another fetch land. So we're going to pay green and then black. So once we get this fetch land down, that's going to give us 2 more creatures, and we can still end up going for, yeah, so we get down Turntimber Sower. Actually, we're going to go for Courser of Crewfix instead. Yeah, I think I like Courser. I like going for Courser just a little bit better. So we go for Courser. Ooh, Doom Whisper. Yeah, I don't know if we can take advantage of it at this point right now. We certainly could, but I think we've got better options for us to be doing at this point. Okay, so we're going to get that 2/2 Elemental on the battlefield. Well, we can actually just go ahead and just leave it on top at this point. Yeah, we'll gain that life. Let's go ahead and go for +2, discard a card. Let's go ahead and discard Misty. And we'll go ahead and dredge Life from the Loam. And we'll still get it, and then Faithless Looting. Okay, that's going to leave Soul Ring on top. And I guess we could go for Faithless Looting. No, we'll just go and hold on to it at this point right now. All right, anything else, we're just going to simply go ahead and pass the turn to our opponent. So we are looking at a Narset swing. So Narset will be able to swing in. Yeah, with Doom Whisper on top of our library, that is nice. But in a game like this, Doom Whispers, it's not going to, we don't really have an answer. We could get down Doom Whisper and just pay a ton of life to find a board wipe. But hopefully we can just dig a little bit quicker with Courser of Crewfix. And then just keep our fingers crossed that we do survive a Narset swing. Because they can be pretty brutal sometimes. Opponent's going to go for Elspeth, Sun's Champion. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Now, if they go for Elspeth, they're going to go for the -3. Destroy all creature power 4 or greater. We're pretty much on the low to the ground with our opponent, so we're going to be able to survive a Elspeth activation. Now, this kind of puts us in a position where we do need to be a little bit aggressive in attacking Elspeth to get rid of these extra tokens. Okay, let's go. Let's spin the Narset wheel. Let's go and crack Bloodstained Mire because Soul Ring's not really what we want to see at this point right now. Let's go and get down Blood Crypt. Have that come into play. Not going to pay 2 life. Ooh, that is wonderful. We get down Pulse. That's going to allow us to take care of the soldier tokens and then leave up some blockers for Narset. Okay, I like that. So, Narset's going to swing in. Let's see what the exile zone was. Oh, that was a beautiful Narset flip. Let's go ahead and go for a Course of Crew Fix. That's going to be able to take care of Narset. They get down a Worn Power Stone. That's, I'll take it. I can't tell you how many times I've been on the other end of like take 4 extra turns and your opponent loses the next 5 games that you're not even a part of. Oh, that was beautiful. I'll take it. Let's go and draw into Pulse. Oh, this is beautiful. I love it. Let's go ahead and go for green. Let's tap down Herborg. We're going to tap down Reliquary Tower. We're going to take care of those soldier tokens, and then we're going to send these elementals in. Oh, yeah. So we need to send 3 of the elementals in at Elspeth, and then, yeah, there we go. And then we'll go and send in attack our opponent. Okay, because Narset doesn't have haste at this point. We can be aggressive. We're in a position to where they've got 2 cards in hand. So we're going to deal with Narset. Let's go ahead and go for Lord Windgrace. Actually, let's play Marsh Flats off the top of our library. We're going to gain additional life, get that 2/2 elemental. Let's go ahead and crack Marsh Flats. And definitely big shout out to our opponent for sticking this one out. Most people probably would have scooped. We got Soul Ring again on top. For real? Okay, let's go and go for a Blood Crypt. We're going to draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. It's going to be Entomb. Let's go and get rid of Life from the Loam, and we'll go and dump Temple of the False God. Let's go for the Lord Windgrace activation, +2. We're going to go ahead and discard Soul Ring. And then I guess at this point, yeah, we're going to dredge Life from the Loam. Okay, let's go and go for Life from the Loam on the lands out of our graveyard, Marsh Flats. At this point, we will eventually kind of start to run out of fetchable sources. There we go. Okay, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Yes, we will. All right, kick it back over. So we do have Deathrat Shaman on top of our library, but we've got a whole assortment of really good stuff. We've got Lord Windgrace coming down, destroy up to 6 target non-land permanents and get those 6 Cat Warrior tokens. If we wanted to, we'll probably end up being pretty aggressive. We'll probably go for Pristine Talisman and Worn Power Stone. One of the ways to really keep down Narset is to make sure that they just can't cast her. So 6 mana, we've already sent her back to the command zone. That's going to be 2 more. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that'll pretty much be her our opponent's entire turn getting down Narset, and especially if we can deal with Narset again. Now, we do run the risk of running into a scenario to where, you know, if they do get lucky and start taking a few extra turns, that can certainly happen. But we want to be aggressive with this one. Yeah, we certainly do. So let's go and dredge Life from the Loam. Temple of Malice. Okay, so let's go and go for Lord Windgrace. Let's go for the -11. We're going to take care of Pristine Talisman and Worn Power Stone. We're going to click OK. We could grab a few other things, but I kind of like leaving it like this. So we're going to get 6 of the Green Cat Warrior creature tokens with Forest Walk. Oh, look at those tokens. That's pretty sweet. Let's go for Marsh Flats, because we want to get as many fetch lands down as possible. So we're going to get that 2/2 elemental. We're going to gain an additional life. Let's go and crack Marsh Flats. Temple of Malice is not exactly what we want to see. Let's go and get down Swamp, Grizzly Salvage. Okay. And then at this point, we're just probably going to hold up Realms Uncharted. So let's go and push in with the entire crew. Yeah, that's going to be 12. That's going to be 14 coming across on our opponent. So they will block on one of the tokens. It's going to put them down to 18. Yeah, I think our best bet is to go for Realms Uncharted, and we'll try to go for... We'll set up like some sort of Merit Lage token. Yeah, especially while they're just kind of tapped out. So let's go for Realms Uncharted. And actually, now that I think about it, we do need to grab the Blighted Fin. Yes, we need to grab Blighted Fin. Dang it. Yeah, that would have been better to go for Blighted Fin. That way we can... make our opponent sacrifice creatures. Let's go for Thespian Stage. We'll go ahead and go for Dark Depths, and we need to grab one more. And then either way, we're going to be able to bring it back with Life from the Loam. And I guess at this point, we'll just simply just go and grab Ghost Quarter. We can start picking off our opponent's lands. Click OK, and we'll see how our opponent wants to divvy this out. So we're going to have Dark Depths. It's going to allow us to get down a Merit Lage token, and then hopefully, we probably should have gone for Blighted Fin this turn, because that would have allowed us to get that down, and then we could make our opponent sacrifice Narset. That definitely would have helped our game plan. Let's go for Life of the Loam on Dark Depths, and then Ghost Quarter, and then Wooded Foothills. There we go. So green, yeah, that probably would have been the better line of play to go for this particular turn. So hopefully we survive. All right, anything else? We're going to go and pass the turn. And once again, props to our opponent for sticking this game out. This has been, but that's the thing with Narset, you can win. Like, you just start ripping a bunch of extra card turns. But thankfully, at least at this point right now, we've made it really hard for them to keep recasting Narset. It's going to be 8, it's going to be 10 total mana. So even if they do swing with Narset, we're not looking at Narset being able to come down off of an extra turn. Let's see what the... Okay, that Karn and then Sword of Light and Shadow, we can definitely do that. And thankfully, they can't get on the Sword of Light and Shadow, so I will take that flip. Let's go and send the Cat Warrior tokens, just in case there's some sort of, I don't know, spot removal, who knows. We're just going to get down, yeah, we got 3 cards in the hand, so even if they have 3 Path to Exile, they'll still leave us 2. Yeah, there we go. Lord Windgrace has a lot of respect for Narset, so we're going to just send the entire crew on this one, blocking on Narset, because you never know if they have something like that. So it's going to send Narset back to the command zone, and then next turn, once we get down Blighted Fin, that's going to allow us to make them. We'll just leave the mana up, and that'll pretty much just clear the way for us to basically make sure Narset stays off the battlefield. Now, they do have Karn's Temporal Sundering. They can bounce something back to the hand that will give them an extra turn. And let's see, they might be able to take 2 extra turns. They've just got a straight up extra turn card in their hand. So that's something we definitely want to keep in mind. But Austere Command, destroy all... Oh, that's a bummer. Destroy all enchantments and destroy all creatures converted mana cost 3 or less. That is, that's the crew. That is. Okay. All right, so it's going to get rid of all of our beautiful, beautiful tokens. And they didn't actually go for Karn's Temporal Sundering. So... what we'll probably be going is for, do we want to dredge Life from the Loam? Because what was on top? I think it was something else. Either way, I can't remember. We're probably going to end up going for Dark Depth. So just not going to dredge Life from the Loam. Going to draw into Mountain. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and get down Blighted, I guess Blighted Fin. That way we can really make our opponent sacrifice a creature. Worst case scenario. And then we can kind of do some setting up. So we'll get down Blighted Fin. That's going to be our only land drop for the turn. Lord Windgrace is going to be 7 total mana. And we can actually still get down Sower. So yeah, let's do that. Let's get down Sower. And that still gives us just enough mana to go for the Blighted Fin activation. This is a little bit more, kind of a little bit of a slower line of play to go for. But definitely want to get rid of Narset. You know, we want to force our opponent to have some sort of creature on the battlefield. And then we can basically just keep bringing back Blighted out of the graveyard. And once we get down Merit Lage token, it's just going to take 1... Uh-oh. Have they already cast that spell? Did that already happen? Oh, okay. I got worried that they cast it and we never knew about it. I got really worried for a second. Okay, I'm sorry. That really scared me. So we do have Entomb, because earlier there was something I thought where they cast something. I was like, what happened? Another thing that we can do is we can still go for Worm Harvest. So we're going to dump that into the graveyard, and that'll give us a ton of tokens to be pretty aggressive on our opponent. They gained a pretty good chunk of life, too. But yeah, we're going to get down Worm Harvest, and then, yeah, let's go ahead and dredge Life from the Loam. Let's go and get down Dark Depths. Yeah, I like this. We get down Dark Depths, going to have those ice counters on there. And then we'll go and go for, yeah, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, they still can't get down Narset for a good minute. So we'll go and go for Lord Windgrace. And then let's go and discard a land card. We're going to get rid of Thespian Stage at this point right now. And that'll allow us to draw 2 additional cards. So draw the Underrealm Lich, and then anything else. No, we're going to pass the turn. Let's go swinging for 3 with Timber Sower, and then we'll kick the turn back over there. So next turn, we are looking at being able to get down Thespian Stage with Lord Windgrace and still keep up the activation for Dark Depths. once we get down, actually, we should have gotten down Thespian stage first. Yeah, and that would have been a better line of play. Sorry about that. So be able to get down Thespian stage, and then it's going to come into play tapped, unfortunately, off of the Lord Windgrace activation. But we can still survive this. We just need to get past that. Ooh, Torment of Hellfire. That might actually do it right there. Let's go and get down Ancient Tomb. Let's go and go for... Let's return Thespian stage back to the battlefield. Actually, if we go for Temple of the False God... Yeah, I kind of like going for that. Let's go and swing in with the Timber Sower. They might have a counterspell, but I'm definitely okay with going for this. Because if we end up going for this, for Torment of Hellfire, this can be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Yeah, they're going to have to get rid of 2 cards and sacrifice a few more permanents, but I think that'll be pretty hard for them to bounce back from. And then we can still go for the Lord Windgrace activation. I'm worried about a counterspell. That's the main thing. Yeah, let's do this. Let's go for Torment of Hellfire. So X is going to be 10. They're going to have to get rid of 2 cards and 2 permanents to kind of dodge this Torment of Hellfire. This does force them to have a counterspell. Then if they don't have a counterspell, what we can do is it's going to win the game. I think it should. All right, puts them down to 1. Well, it goes for the Lord Windgrace return. Where are you? Thespian stage, and we'll also return Temple of the False God. We could have brought him back. Well, excuse me, they'd both come into play. Okay. For some reason in my head, I was thinking that they would come. This is a late game mistake. I do apologize about that. So next turn we could swing in with. All right, opponent's gonna scoop it up. Yeah, I got a little bit ahead of myself. That for some reason I thought that Thespian stage came into play tapped. I don't know why. That's when you've been recording for a while. Sometimes interactions like that get stuck in your head. So anyways, we could have been a little bit more aggressive with that Torment of Hellfire, but I was trying to leave up a line of play to where we still had Thespian stage and Dark Depths. So a little bit of a sequencing error to close the game out. But you can see how, especially something like Lord Windgrace, there's so much overlapping value that even when you do make a mistake like that, this deck can be pretty forgiving sometimes. So, but to kind of close out Narset, or really kind of keep Narset under wraps, is really nice feeling. So anyways, if you enjoyed the video, and I do apologize for those kind of slight misplays, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Lord Windgrace. As far as opening hand goes, yes, I like it. We're going to keep on this one. We've got Crop Rotation. We've got 2 fetch lands. We've got Horn of Greed, and we've got Demonic Tutor. Yes, sign me up. Let's go and get down to Windswept Heath, and then anything else. No, I guess we'll just go and pass the turn. We're definitely going to Demonic Tutor for a Life from the Loam. It really gets the party started here at Lord Windgrace Estate. That's always really nice. So let's let our opponent do their thing. We're playing Lord Windgrace. +2, discard a card, then draw a card. +2, discard a card. If a land card is discarded this way, draw an additional card. Sometimes my brain just jumps into just making things up sometimes. Draw an additional card if it's a land card. Let's go and crack Windswept Heath. We'll go and grab make sure we grab a black source. That will be online for that Demonic Tutor for next turn. And actually, we'll go and grab Stomping Ground. That way, Marsh Flats will grab the Bayou. It'll be online for black mana. -3, return up to 2 target lands from your graveyard to the battlefield. And that is not tapped. I don't know why, but in a previous video, for some reason in my head it was stuck that they were going to come into play tapped. I don't know why. I was going to go for Demonic Tutor. We're going to grab that Life from the Loam. Let's get this popped out. There you go. Life from the Loam. It's going to go into our hand. Then we're going to go and pass the turn. And then for the -11 off of Lord Windgrace, if you're still here, destroy up to 6 target non-land permanents, then create 6 green cat warrior creature tokens with Forest Walk. That's going to be the security for the Lord Windgrace Estates. We're playing It's Time of the Weaver, so welcome. Hopefully she enjoys her stay. Life link at the beginning of your post-combat main phase. You may pay X life, where X is the number of opponents that were dealt combat damage this turn. If you do, draw X cards. So we're going to be, most of the time you're playing against time, and you're playing against some sort of, really heavy control deck, and looks like we're playing against some style of stacks deck. So that's fine. We'll make it work. It's going to put us down to 27. Let's go ahead and go for Life from the Loam. Let's grab Marsh Flats and then Windswept Heath. Yeah, I like that. And we're going to get the, bring those back to the hand. Let's go and get the Scry going. The Scurry, the Fever. Do we want another fetch land? That'll be yeah, let's go and put that on top. We're okay with that at this point right now. So we'll get that on top, and then we're going to go and pass the turn. One of the things that we definitely want to do with this deck is you want to have a lot of fetch lands. We do have green fetch land, plains fetch land. Well, plains is not green. So really, at this point right now, we just have a green and a black source. So having at least a red fetchable source is something that we want to get going for this value engine. So the best way to kind of think about Lord Windgrace is that you're building. Sorry about that. I had to clear my throat for a second. But yeah, so the best thing to think about Lord Windgrace is you're building just this value engine. You know, you want to get life from the loam. You want to get the graveyard going. You want to start getting a bunch of lands into your hand. And so that's the best way to think about Lord Windgrace. So our opponent did get down time in. They also did swing in, so we're down to 24. And yeah, let's go and dredge life from the loam. Let's get this graveyard kickstarted. Now, at this point right now, we could get down green, cop rotate, ancient tomb. Yeah, let's get down Horn of Greed. I like it. Let's get some card draw going. Yeah, let's get down Horn of Greed, and we'll be able to get down Marsh Flats, and then for crop rotation, we'll decide exactly what we want to go for. So we're going to be able to draw an additional card off Horn of Greed. That's basically going to be a land tutor, so we'll kind of hold on to it at this point right now. Then anything else? No, let's go and pass turn to our opponent. Now with crop rotation, there's a lot of good stuff in here that we can pick from. We do have Dark Depths, we do have Thespian Stage. That's something that we can certainly get going. We get that Merit Lage token on the battlefield, and then everybody just has fun. You know, once they see Merit Lage on the token, our opponent's going to be like, wow, that's amazing, that was really cool. We're going to be like, I know, isn't that? And then once they swing in for 20, they're going to be like, oh, well, that's not too much fun. They probably won't be like that, but you'll at least be like that in your head. So that's definitely one of the things that we can go for. Another option we can go for off of crop rotation, let's say that we didn't have a really good mana base, or we had some really clunky, like a lot of red-green lands, we could crop rotate for Urborg. We'll see. We'll see exactly what's going on. And then at this point right now, if we try to go for Lord Windgrace, it's probably not good for us to go for Lord Windgrace, because we'll just simply just get an activation, and then we could go for the -3 if we wanted to, just to simply get it down. But yeah, that could work out. We'll see. Anyway, we'll see what we draw off of this Horn of Greed. And then, oh man, I just love this art. Looks so good. And why that's a Horn of Greed, I don't know, but I love it. All right, opponent's going to get down Soul Ring, and then we'll go and crack Marsh Flats as soon as they pass the turn, and then we'll get some stuff rolling for our turn. Now, if we can get down Omnath, I'd really like to get down Omnath, because if we don't hit a board wipe soon, we're definitely in a position to where this is not going to be good for us. And especially with Omnath, we can get that down and hopefully put some pressure on Elspeth. So we might end up going for, that's going to be Ancient Tomb, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. Yeah, we might end up going for that. We'll see. I was going to go for Marsh Flats. Let's crack Marsh Flats. And let's just grab something that's going to come into play tap, preferably a red source. Let's go grab Blood Crypt. Not going to pay 2 life. And then we'll see what we run into once we get on the Thespian Stage. Well, there we go. That's exactly what we needed to know. Let's go and get down Marsh Flats. And with Grand Abolisher, we cannot swing in and activate abilities. Yeah, during your turn, opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities. Okay, so we need to basically just do this now. So let's go and get down Thespian Stage. We're able to draw an additional card, but in response to that, we're going to go, you never know, maybe that happens to where we draw into Dark Depths. Anyway, so we're going to go for crop rotation in response to that card draw, because we simply just want to get Dark Depths on the battlefield. Where are you, Dark Depths? Come on. All right, Dark Depths goes on the battlefield. We're going to have, actually, we'll still be able to draw a card. All right, we're drawing a Blighted Woodland. Let's go for the Thespian Stage activation on Dark Depths. It's going to be 1, 2. Actually, we'll get down Golgari's Signet first. That way we can just get a little bit ahead on mana. So we'll get down Golgari's Signet. We're going to tap that colorless mana, get down Signet, and then make a copy of Dark Depths. And we definitely want to keep the copy of Thespian Stage, because that one does not have counters on it. Look at this. Oh, Merit Lage, come on, come out to play, Merit Lage. Just, let's welcome Taima to the Lord Windgrace Estates. We're going to get on the Merit Lage token, and then we're going to go and pass the turn. So at this point right now, Merit Lage, we're probably not going to be swinging in. We can try to swing in there at 29, and we might be able to do some exsanguinate shenanigans. But at this point right now, we've got some sort of creature on the battlefield to stop them swinging in. And especially with Elspeth, you know, it is being able to give that creature +3 and flying until end of turn is something that we definitely want to watch out for. So we've got our brick wall on the battlefield, basically. If they want to keep swinging in, we can slowly whittle away at the Merit Lage. Let's say that they do have Swords to Plowshare. That's going to be 20 life gain, which is really going to help us kind of propel our game plan. So thankfully, that was a beautiful top deck off of that Thespian Stage, and I will definitely take it. Now, as far as the rest of the game, we do have Life from the Loam. So if we can get some sort of double mana producing or double land drop creature on the battlefield, we're good to go. We can basically just keep making a Merit Lage token every single turn. That does kind of chew up our land drops. We'd like to get ahead on mana as quickly as possible. So what we're probably going to try to do is get down Lord Windgrace, and that would basically put our opponent in this weird position to where we have Lord Windgrace on the battlefield, we have Merit Lage token that can block, we can start to go for those -3s to get back ahead on land drops, and simply just basically, once we find Urborg, get down Dark Depths so we can just really threaten our opponent with Merit Lage token every single time. Now, another thing that we can do is once we finally get down Omnath, that'll really allow us to kind of build up that army. So once we start making our land drops, we get these fetch lands. Because the cool thing with Omnath is that whenever a land enters the battlefield, we get a 5/5 red and green elemental creature token. So you get a Windswept Heath, you get that trigger on the stack, you crack that trigger, you crack that land, and that's going to be an additional elemental token on the battlefield. Then let's say our opponent goes for Wrath of God. We still kind of have a safety valve, some sort of backup plan to counteract some sort of board wipe once we get those elementals going. Now, one thing that I will mention though is if you're playing, not necessarily Omnath as the commander, but if you're going to be playing Omnath in any format, but mainly it's going to be commander because you're not really going to be playing it in modern. But with Omnath, one thing that you definitely want to do is the turn that you get it. Ooh, Sword and Feast and Famine. That's a good one. All right, that's definitely protection from black. Okay. And so one of the things that you mainly want to do with Omnath is you want to be able to make a land drop the turn you get it down. Because the last thing you want to do is you want to spend 7 mana to get down Omnath, and then you pass the turn, then something happens to it, and you don't end up with an elemental token. So if you're going to be playing Omnath, the one thing you certainly want to do is, make sure you make a land drop, especially if it's a fetch land or something, but at least have something extra to show for it. Even if it pushes you back a turn, you just want, man, there's just from personal experience, there's no worse feeling in the world than getting down Omnath and it just immediately gets hit by a removal spell and you didn't make a lane drop. That's pretty much it. Okay, so our opponent does get down Core Duelist. That's going to be double strike, and that's going to be double the Sword of Feast and Famine trigger. So we're not necessarily out of this one, even though we got a 20/20 with Indestructible. Now we do kind of get into this weird stalemate to where we can swing in with Merit Lage. Oh no, yeah. All right, so that's going to be 12. Man, this this ain't looking good. If you're keeping score at home, you can definitely check that this is not looking good box. Okay, so Core Duelist is swinging in for 12. It's gonna be double the triggers. We try to swing in on the back end. We're looking at Sanguinate for like 3. Okay, so we have to get rid of a card. I guess at this point, we definitely want to make our land drop, so we'll just get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, we just can't survive another sort of. We need to hold on to Omnath though. Let's get rid of Grizzly Salvage, yeah. And here comes another hit off Sword of Feast and Famine. I guess we'll simply just get rid of. Go for Blighted Woodland. That allows us to get a hit on lands. Yeah, I guess we'll get rid of Windswept Heath. Uh-oh. Now, one thing that we can do is we can't cast spells. We can still get them down the Merit Lage token stuff, but yeah, it's not looking good. All right, so we'll go ahead and get rid of Windswept Heath. It does put us down to 6, and they do gain. They do pay X life. It's going to put them down to 25. Now, if we rip Ancient Tomb. Okay, let's see if they're going to. Actually, if they demonic tutor for Path to Exile, we're in a really bad spot. Okay, but anyway, I'm still going to go and post this video up because this is kind of what you can do with Lord Windgrace. This is the kind of stuff that you should expect. You can slam down. Oh no, flashback. Okay. All right, so we're basically on a Damnation or Bust. We do have Toxic Deluge, but that's going to be our entire life total. So we're on Damnation or Bust. We can draw into Crux of Fate. That will happen. So anyway, we're going to get rid of our Merit Lage token, buy Merit Lage, and then let's see what we have. That Sword of Feast and Famine. That was brutal. Okay, draw to Doom Whisper. That's I don't think that's going to get it done. Protection from black. Get down Lord Windgrace, but I think that's GG. We can still make the land drop though. Let's get down Horn of Greed. Drawn to Faithless Looting. That might be Damnation. We'll try. Faithless Looting. Imperial Seal and the Knights. That's not going to get it done. Oh, that's a bummer. All right, so we get rid of Doom Whisper. Get rid of Life from the Loam. That way we can dredge. We Imperial Seal for something on top. We draw into a card. Protection from black is basically going to get rid of any sort of removal that we can go for. We can Imperial Seal for something for Sword of Feast and Famine. That goes on top. We go for Knight's Whisper for 2. But unfortunately, I do not have... Our removal starts at the 2-drop for artifacts and enchantments. We don't have Nature's Claim in here. I've got Assassin's Trophy and a few other things, but no Nature's Claim. That would have been our only out. But even then, if we go for Nature's Claim, that's still going to be double strike. It's going to be 2, and then they go for the Elspeth activation. So yeah, good game to our opponent. Good game. They're going to get it on this one. We got down the Merit Lage token, but I'm still going to go and post this one up because they're going to be able to swing in. You can see how good Sword of Feast and Famine is. I love this card. There's a lot of green and black in Commander, and especially if you're playing some of the more popular commanders like Lord Windgrace. This is pretty much everything you need to do to answer Lord Windgrace, because let's say that we didn't get down Merit Lage, we get down Lord Windgrace, no matter what sort of blockers we had, protection from black and green is going to be 2/3 of our entire deck, and so they swing in, they can keep Lord Windgrace in check, they can use Elspeth to turn a Core Duelist into some sort of kind of Voltron package. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed your time at the Lord Wind State of Grace. Taima did escape the estate, so good for her. Hopefully she'll leave a 5-star review after she stayed here. So anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome MTG content just like this. And make sure to tap the bell icon to be notified whenever a video is made live. If you want to keep watching content, here are 2 more videos for you. This video and many others are sponsored by MTGO Traders and Cape Fear Games. Buy and sell digital singles to build your online collection today with MTGO Traders, and get your paper singles, accessories, and much more from Cape Fear Games. Whatever your Magic needs, both places have you covered.